Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more. Jim Bostock is known as the nerve release specialist and the creator of the Bostock needle technique. Jim's worked with the likes of Tony Robbins, Pat Flynn, James O'Connor, and Shepard. Now, today, Jimbo and myself, we talk about trauma, psychedelics, athlete performance treatment, and how to get your body back to a thriving state. Now, some of the highlights for me were really how stress and emotions and trauma can manifest as pain, which is pretty bloody interesting. We also talk about some influential people in Jim's life. So before we dive in, quickly want to share one thing that's extremely important. Now, within our Strong Men of Value Academy, one of the most important messages I guess we get across is we want to help you find direction for your life. And that comes through making sure you are feeling and looking physically strong, you're mentally fit, and you are practicing gratitude, right? It's helping you be appreciative for what you have right now. And we challenge ourselves physically, especially because it helps us build our strength and it helps you build resilience, something that is extremely important in today's society. Now, today when I was doing hill sprints, I was absolutely stinging. My legs were feeling heavy, my heart was pounding, and my mind started to tell me to take it easy. It was like, look, you just slow down. You don't need to push it too hard. It's like, just give into that pain and just walk that last 10 meters. And I know from experience, and this is one of the beauties of training, that every time my mind starts doing that, that's when I need to push harder. I know the program that I'm following is designed to help me adapt. It's designed to help me grow. So I can't cut corners. So as I mentioned, I pushed fucking harder, and I'm glad I did because my body will adjust. And I figured it out. I didn't die. And I felt so bloody satisfied after I gave myself the opportunity to have a win. And it really highlighted to me why we shouldn't underestimate how much those little wins can add up. Just that one moment of really pushing myself when I didn't want to gave me a little win, and I walked away feeling so satisfied. So I want you to think about areas in your life where you may be cutting corners and you're taking that opportunity away to get a little win and also compound on those little wins, which will help you build more confidence in your ability to succeed. So think about that. And that's why within our academy, and should you apply, the fitness is a huge component of that, because by helping you challenge yourself and progress physically, you're going to be able to understand how your mind operates, where your limitations are, what obstacles you're going to face along the way, and you're giving yourself a chance to problem solve. You're giving yourself a chance to be better. And you should never take those chances for granted. So if you would like to apply for the academy, head to themanthatcanproject.com/Strong Men of Value, and you can go through the application process, and hopefully we'll see you in there soon. Let's dive into today's episode with Jim Bostock. The Man That Can Project podcast, a podcast empowering career-driven men to live more fulfilling lives. We are here to challenge your beliefs, redefine success, and talk about the important stuff in a relatable way. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. My name's Lockie Stewart. Let's get into it. Second take, didn't push play. That's why I did. But Jimbo, you are the most watched person in this room right now, which is very exciting. And I appreciate you coming on a
Thank you
day
so
out
much.
from holidays, 2 days out from your tennis tournament.
Yes.
How are you feeling for the tennis
I'm
tournament?
ready.
Yeah?
I'm ready.
Because you're an ex-martial artist as well.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I just
martial
thought,
art did
why
you do?
ruin this pretty face? I grew up getting beat up because I grew up in a place called Liberia.
Okay.
So it's in West Africa. And just since a young age, because the schooling there was pretty rough. It's, and the community was outside the skirts of your expat
Yes.
lifestyle. It's pretty rough. So we were chucked into fighting, training. And back then, those guys didn't have anything like any resilience towards ill discipline. If you were naughty or not paying attention, I got bitten so many times. And
Bitten.
bitten. Literally, I was once looking another way and he comes and bites me and literally bleeds me because I was not paying attention. That level of discipline was back then. It was,
What?
we were hit and beaten up if we didn't do the right things. And that's how we trained. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Did you enjoy it? Or
We were like 8, 9, 10. So it's like, oh, this is just normal maybe.
yeah, your whole experience of the world up to that date had been punching, kicking.
I tell you what, we were able to do some pretty cool things because we were frightened of getting beaten otherwise.
Yeah.
If we didn't achieve it. So it was pretty good motivation.
Definitely, yeah. It's interesting to think about that now because it's so far the opposite way. You can't even like give someone a kid a smack on the back, and I talk to a lot of people as you would, and you see how young kids are so ill disciplined now, and I guess doing naughty things a lot, and you're like, well, maybe is there a fine balance between sort of giving someone a smack and. But that's a different topic for a different.
That is a whole few hours of chatting. That one
of chatting. I'm just thinking out loud. So, to be honest, when I read that about martial arts for you, I was like, whenever I'm around you, you've got the most gentle, kind, calm energy. I'm like, nah, Jimbo wouldn't like punch anyone or do anything like that. But that probably comes with the discipline of martial arts.
Maybe, yeah. I used to train a lot and fight a lot. So, but yeah, grew a lot of peace from it. Inner peace and joy of just living life. Saw some horrible things.
I can imagine.
Growing up in Liberia, so I really appreciate things. But discipline, as we just discussed, like discipline is huge.
When did you move over from Liberia?
When I was about 13, 14.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, because they had the war.
Yep.
You know that movie Blood Diamond?
Yes.
Leo? Yeah.
Oh,
That's
dear.
exactly how it played out. That was the Liberian War, obviously Hollywoodized, but the concept of it was pretty much the same.
How do you think Leo went?
He did a great job. Yeah. It was very, very violent, very, very stressful.
Yep.
Very traumatic. Yeah. Like kids were playing with people's skulls as footballs. Those kids they were brainwashing?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally training them to kill, and they were just playing with people's heads. Yeah. It was pretty awful.
Puts things into perspective.
Yeah. It was awful.
But
yeah.
Right, let's liven up the mood a bit.
Yeah. So discipline and inner peace.
We what was it? 3 weeks ago, we went to your brother's breath workshop.
Oh, that was great.
Looking at your drink bottle. That's the one you lent me because I forgot mine. That was one of the most incredible experiences,
isn't it?
I've had in my life. I've watched people on Instagram doing like breath things, and you see people doing having all kinds of reactions and responses, and to be able to go through that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I haven't actually spoken about it on the podcast yet.
Oh, really?
No.
You definitely went into it. You went deep. Yeah.
Was it you standing over the top of me? But
Yeah.
calmed me down a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because you have those moments where you're like, I hope I'm getting out of here. And then you were like, just breathe. It's all good. And I'm like,
yeah.
It's quite a...
Wasn't it amazing?
Yeah, your brother is incredible. How did you get involved in the breath stuff?
Simply with Richie.
Yep.
Yeah, so, I've observed human bodies for so long.
Yep.
And when Richie decided to get into the breath work and train, I'm like, this is amazing. I can't wait to see what this brings out of him and what his work will create. It's been a journey watching him, and he was finally coming to Australia. I'm like, can we please do some breath work that you do for, all my clients and friends? And, oh, yeah. And because I know of breath work, I've heard of breath work in Australia, but it's just not what I was seeing over there.
Yep.
Kind of like we're a bit far behind.
Yep.
So I'm like, we have to introduce this to Brisbane at least.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
He's coming back soon, right?
He is, yeah. We're doing work with the Reds now.
Yep.
And we want to make the Reds the first rugby team in Australia to experience Richie's breathwork to help them improve their mind, body, soul, spirit, imagery, visualization,
Wow.
bringing it out on the pitch, motivation, strength, confidence, focus. Yep. Yeah.
It literally, when I heard that he was coming back in October, I was like, okay, I need to get as many of my clients and mates involved in it because it is just, it's really hard to put into words, but I also feel you need to have this, you need to be ready.
You do.
To let go and see where it takes you. Because there was moments where I was like, what's it called? Tetany, where you start tightening up. My mouth felt like it was tightening up. And then I was like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. And then boom, I was in a whole nother place.
You were there. Yeah. You go to the next place. Yeah. You're definitely right. People have to be prepared. Not mentally. It's just your body's ready.
Yep.
It's really weird. It's like intuition. My gut says something. I have to do this. Yeah.
I could definitely. Yeah, I'm addicted to it. I've been craving that, and I want more of it.
When you walked in, I'm like to Richie, Lockie's gonna go deep because you can just sense it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're ready to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's so cool
to get more people.
But a lot of people just you could see they held on. No.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I'm petrified of that. No thanks. I'm out.
Yep. I want that. I really want that experience for everyone as well to be able to get to that point where they can sort of lean into it and understand that it's not because I was freaking. There was a moment where I felt like I was on a drug trip, and drug trips you can't get out of.
Yeah.
But when you sort of were there and just calmed my breathing down, it got me back focused and centered, and it was incredible.
There's an incredible strength that comes from being in that state and not fearing. Just letting the body talk and letting the body surrender to it.
Yep.
Oh, man. It's the confidence and the strength, the inner peace that comes from it. For me, it's like I just say to people, I'm not scared anymore. I know what I have to do.
You literally get a sense like I was having this moment before, I think it was before, where I was like, I just want to get up now and tell Linda, Amy, Emma, everyone that I love them because I don't ever do that too often.
Yeah.
And then when I'd calm down again, I was like, I'm good. But I was more aware of it. I think it's like these are some things that I want to work on. And I went back to like times with dad and stuff from such a young age, and you're just walking through this experience. It was so emotional. It was hectic.
The childhood, the emotional memories, they come. Yeah.
So how did you get into the body work? Like what drew you to it?
I started my career as a junior physio in the early 2000s.
Yep.
And then, of course, did more degrees, became a specialist in pain. And
why pain?
It was what I was attracted towards. And, I grew up with a lot of pain.
Yep.
From my childhood with, fighting and we had a lot of, family traumas and so on. So maybe that just was my place. I don't know. I was attracted to people who weren't getting better.
Yep.
Why am I not getting better? I'm not sick. I'm not dying. I'm not cancerous. Why can I not perform? Or why does this pain hang around? It's driving me crazy. So manual therapies of all types I explored. Physio, yes, but I did everything.
Yep.
Dry needling for trigger points and acupuncture, westernized acupuncture came out in the early 2000s. I was one of the first to join that.
It's the flavor of people love it.
Yeah. So I was one of the first to go into those courses because that's when they started really here. And I just kept exploring and sadly, I couldn't hit the mark. Like I was the one who'd constantly call people. Back then there was no email, so I just kept calling people on my weekends and just to check. Like I was the guy hanging around after work, and all my bosses used to think, well, go home. I'm like, well, I just got to check on a few things. And I stay there for hours just calling people.
to see how everyone's going.
How did you feel after what I did? And they're like, the common answer was, "You're a nice guy."
Good energy.
Good, yeah, you're a nice guy. I'll come back just because you're a nice guy. And that just didn't sit well with me. I got fired from my first job because I couldn't handle just constantly having to tell people stuff so they keep coming back.
Yeah, because it was more about the business side, not actually
just the business
healing
side.
people.
And I wasn't a business brain.
Yep.
I cried with my first employer because she said to me, "Jim, you're not cut out for this." I'm just like, oh, this is so sad. Oh, man. So, yeah, I better grow thick skin and become a business mind or something.
Yep.
So maybe I quit my work. So, but I had this hunch that it was all about nerves.
Yep.
Had to be, right?
Where did that come from?
Talking to people, great healers. That I traveled to Europe and America and just talked to some cool people, watched them. These amazing healers, right? And you go, wow, how do they do that? And it's all about nerves and blood flow and energy flow and all these cool things, you know. So I thought, okay, the needle has to be the key. Maybe that's my point of difference. I like working with a needle, and my hands kind of felt cool things when I used them. So maybe that was my thing. I don't know. We'll see. Just explore it. So I did. So experiment. So the patients or the people were my textbooks, not the literature. And I went back.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I
Well
went
done to the early patients.
Oh, God bless them. Holy moly. I did so many freebies you wouldn't imagine.
Yep.
But just constantly asking questions. I had to swallow my pride, even though I'm the one with the 3 degrees.
Yep.
I was never right. Or my patients were always right. And hence I understood the component of emotions, your history, your traumas, and your lifestyle that feeds into your pain. Never talk about that in literature and medical textbooks enough because it's too wishy-washy.
Yep.
But I knew that had to be a role. And certain papers in chronic pain suggest, stress, psychosocial factors, but never really go past that.
Yeah, that was his.
It just exists. Yeah. So my patients were my textbook, and over 70,000 people now, I think.
Far out.
Yeah, easily. Oh my gosh. So I have my own textbook now in my MacBook, which I haven't published as yet, but
Is
now
that
I know.
an intention to publish that?
Maybe one day. Everyone always says you have to share this knowledge.
Yep.
Maybe one day. But at this stage, it's more about me. My energy now is more just healing people. Just keep doing the work and helping people feel better. Finally get better.
Yep. I was reading somewhere that it was like, or could you, it's more so a question, but like how stress, emotions and trauma can manifest as pain.
Oh my gosh. I can give you 4 patients this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The longer the pain lasts. So, okay, let's use a CrossFitter.
Yep.
So, for the topic here. And this guy, awesome athlete. I won't name him. Elite level CrossFitter. This weird pain starting in his chest. Thought it was a heart attack, did all the tests, everything. He couldn't do push-ups. It was after one of those push-up wall ball workouts where he did like 100 of them.
Yep.
And it was at the end of the week. So he was pretty tired. And he developed this pain in his right pecs. Crazy pain. And 5 years later, it's still there. 5 years later, he's still there. He can't even do a push-up anymore because it's so painful. Yeah, so 2 surgery consults, right, to speak to surgeons, multiple MRIs, blood tests, check the heart, everything's fine. I'm going crazy. And he was on depression medications because he couldn't exercise the way he wanted to. Changed his lifestyle because he was an elite level athlete and he couldn't do it anymore. He couldn't push up. So just imagine what that does to your mindset or your emotions.
That would destroy me.
Yeah. And there was a reason why he was CrossFitting in the first place, right? There was a reason why he needed to be in the box, pushing his body and getting his stress out. And he couldn't do it. Can you imagine that bottling up inside you? So chronic pain, any type of chronic pain, the emotions are huge, 90-something% at least.
What do you reckon his body was telling him? Because I'm a big believer from, I guess, minds that when we're not feeling happy or fulfilled or sad, there's a reason for that. Same with if your gut health and
100%.
your body aches and pains. I think there's like a bigger thing at bay, but we always look for that first bit of, I'll take some Panadol or I'll take this. And, they all have their place, I guess, but there's always an underlying factor.
His body was definitely telling him to slow down. When I asked him about what else was happening in your life at that time, right? And he goes, "Oh, mate, I was moving house. I just split up with my partner.
Yep.
We've got kids, but we're not married. So we're going through all that pain of, splitting all that up. And I wasn't sleeping.
Yep.
I was eating crap. But I just kept pushing. So body said, you know what? You need to slow down." It's that book that Richie mentioned, Gabor Mate.
Yep.
When the body says no, that guy is all over it. That's what I see every day. He's just 30 years ahead of me.
Why do you feel people don't stop and listen to it?
It's something that drives their conscious brain to keep fighting.
Yep.
And it's always the subconscious pain. So there's something in your history that is driving you to say, I'm going to beat you up and I'm not going to let you win. I'm not going to let that fear overwhelm me again. So I'm going to keep pushing.
And through like the stuff that you do with needles, and I guess
it all comes out.
Yeah, it all. And so when you're doing, so you've obviously developed your own needle strategy, which is fucking unreal.
Yeah.
What sort of separates you from traditional, I guess, acupuncture and various things like that?
So I discovered these things called nerve locks.
Yep.
It's my own terminology. I try to keep it simple for everyone. It's nerves in your muscles or in your fascia that locks.
I like it.
It's like, because everyone says, I just feel something is locked and it just won't let go. So whether that's pain, whether that's structural and tightness and spasms, and also I feel there's something in me that needs to come out, which is my stress that I'm harboring.
Yeah.
So nerve locks, that's what I call them. It's a thicker needle, so it's not the usual acupuncture or dry needling for trigger points. Travell and Simon's method that everybody does now, which is great. Love trigger point dry needling. Yep. And thicker needle and completely different spots in the body for specific problems, dysfunctions. So now the textbook, for me anyway, my textbook says that if your pain is this and I do this, this is the outcome. And if it doesn't do this outcome, you have this problem. So it gives people certainty. So people come to me for certainty. Jim, do I need surgery? No. Yes. Yes, it means my treatment did not work. Yes. So when nerve locks disappear, the body gives me the true answers, the truth about what's going on. So sadly this year we had cancers that nobody knew they had, right? We have, handful of women who have had emotional trauma, sexual abuse trauma since they were in their teenagers that was stored in specific part of the body and that had to come out. And the nerve lock treatment unlocked that for them. So I directed them towards, breath work or other means to help their bodies heal from that. David, you need surgery, without a doubt, and it will work for you 100%. So a lot of people fear surgery, thinking it's not going to work.
Yep.
And that's true. A lot of the time it may not work, but I give them certainty. So nerve locks essentially is your body's protection mechanism.
Yep.
So once you unlock that, you're Jesus, or sorry, Lockie, you got to go do this, and this will work.
Wow.
So give people certainty and guidance. Yeah. So people come to me mainly for that.
Because quite a lot of the time when you're going to, see physios or anything like that, you go back and, ridiculous amount of times.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to have a physio in Toowoomba.
Yep. And
all he did was use the, what's it called? The
interferential TENS machines.
Yeah, all that. And like even when I talk quads, he's just like, just heat pack, and he'd come back 20 minutes later and then he'd put that machine on.
Yeah.
And after like a year, Mum's like, I think this guy is just having you on. I was like, well, I'm not paying for it. You are, so that's fine. But I think, it's not working. So to have that different approach, that the goal is just to get people out, because you believe in getting it done in like 2 to 3 sessions or...
3 maximum. Oh my gosh. If you're seeing me for a third time, you had a pretty awesome problem.
A pretty awesome problem.
Yeah. Because some people, 30 years of pain, it's gone within one session. Yeah, and it makes no sense medically and evidence-based wise. It makes no sense because that's completely the opposite
Yep.
to what we get told. But as I said, I listen to the people, and don't have to lie anymore.
Yeah, it's fascinating to think about that though, because I often, with so many industries, I feel like we're overcomplicating things. I think it's great to understand things, definitely on a medical level and various things like that. But I also feel because so much of that information is on TikTok and everything like that, we're overcomplicating so many things that have a simple solution.
Oh my goodness.
And, you know, if the outcome for most people, it's like, I just want to be pain-free, or I want to feel happier, or I want to experience love. It's like, okay, well, it doesn't need to be this, you know, you don't need to see a dating coach. You don't need to do all this, that, and the other. It's like, can be quite simple.
Yeah, so true.
But we're just bombarded with complications and then overwhelm as a result of trying to follow.
Yeah, man, you're on it. That's awesome. It's something I say to everyone all the time.
Yep.
You're here because your brain is full of nonsense about your pain or your problem. Let's really simplify it.
Yeah, literally. Like, keep it as simple.
Wow, Jim, is that it? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, it can't be.
And you're going to be okay. What? You're going to be okay. Bullshit. No one tells me that.
Why do you think we do believe it's so complex to fix things from your experience?
Oh, it's great for business.
True.
Let's be honest. Yeah. It's great for business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay in pain. It's good.
Yeah.
For us. Yeah. Specialists and medicos and so on.
It's even like with what we do at the Man That Can project.
Yeah.
You know, we used to run workshops, and we still do run workshops, and we have this whole process. But at the end of the day, for me, it's just like, get as fit and healthy as you need to be to live a good quality of life.
Yeah.
Work on yourself daily, and that can be your relationship or your communicate, various things that make you feel better, and then just learn to be content with what you have, with the idea to be better. You don't need me for that. The reason why we have our academy, it's there to give you access to men from all walks of life that can maybe hold you accountable or continue to remind you.
So great.
But my thing is, I don't want you to necessarily feel like you're dependent upon what we offer. Hopefully, you start building some great relationships outside of our community because you're developing those skills. You're now more aware.
So great. Hats off to you, brother. What a great concept for people. Men, this is amazing.
Yeah. Early days, that's for sure.
Yeah. So great.
What sort of, when you were going through the process of seeing clients not getting results and they're just like, Jim, you're a great bloke. This is back in the early days. Why do you feel you went outside the scope of science and looked into other fields, like how are you actually feeling, trauma, various other things like that, when it is so easy to just go, the textbook's not saying anything, maybe I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Where did that belief that there was something bigger at play come from?
Largely blame my mum. She's like that. No, that's not right. There has to be another answer.
Yeah.
So I did that. And luckily, very fortunate, I met some cool people who said, you know what, read all these books and open your mind, because we're not taught to do that in medical school, So I did. And luckily, I said, right, let's go challenge this problem.
Yep.
And just things fell into place. I started feeling things, seeing things. And the biggest was, and still is, I continuously try to swallow my own pride. I have to ask all the time, how are you going? Did this work for you? Am I doing the right things for you? Because, I always have to be open to the fact that I'm wrong. And in the medical fraternity, that's a big, that's tough. Because,
Definitely. How do your peers view you, like, because you've developed this your own?
I'm not popular amongst my peers, I feel.
Yep.
Because, let's just say business.
Yep.
Their patients come to me.
Yep.
And then it's finished, which is not good for them.
Yep.
So, not popular, I would think.
And you're fine with that?
Completely okay with that.
That's awesome.
So I always said, you know what? I'm not here to please my peers. I'm here to help people.
Yep.
And they always question me, how do you just say 1 or 2 sessions? Like, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Like, how does that even work for business for you? How can you make money out of that? And, well, it's amazing what happens when you give people what they want.
Results. Results
It's,
work.
they tell people to come to you.
Yeah.
But that concept is still not up there.
Yeah. Is it starting to catch on, do you feel, from younger
I hope
people
so.
coming through? Or?
I hope so. I see a lot now through various patients when they go to different people, practitioners, healers, and so on. They're claiming things.
Yep.
Like, you should be fixed, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of confidence.
Yes.
Which is great. Gives people confidence. But then the work has to produce the result.
Yes.
In my opinion, the people are changing now. People are wanting better. They need to see results. Their mindset about the medical fraternity is changing slowly, thinking outside the box more.
Yes. Breathwork even?
Yeah, especially in the last 3 years.
Yep.
Breathwork, definitely.
I'm excited. Have you looked into thinking outside the box? I've been reading a lot of stuff around psilocybin and all of this in the mental health space.
There's a reason why on Netflix now, How to Change Your Mind.
You're the second person today to recommend that.
Yep, it's on there. If you look at all the greatest performers and minds of the world today and in the past, it's amazing how mushrooms or LSDs were a part of their journey.
Yes.
Because it gives them so much clarity and focus, but also confidence and fearlessness in who they are as a person and why they're here on this planet. Yeah.
That excites, massively excites me. One of the articles I was reading was they were in the US, it's looking like psilocybin and stuff will be legal for prescription within 2 years.
Well, at the World Economic Forum this year at Davos, it was breathwork and psychedelics are the future of healing.
Yes.
And humans will need to heal after the last 3-4 years. It's been, what a ride.
Yeah.
What a ride, hey?
Fucking hell.
What a ride.
Yeah.
So healing is the next level.
Yep.
We must go there.
What do you feel some of the roadblocks will be for a lot of people with that sort of next phase of healing?
Old school thinking.
Yep.
Yeah. Traditional thinking. Medicine, the medical fraternity today still not being open to it because it's against evidence-based practice. Not enough research.
Yeah.
Pharmaceuticals will hate that, of course.
Cool. Yeah, massively.
So they don't benefit until they get involved.
Yes.
But yeah, as I mentioned, I think the population, a lot more people are looking
for answers.
There is this gut feeling that something else has to be more than what we're on now. This is not working. Hence, Netflix is suddenly.
I wish I'd watched that.
Yeah,
that'll be.
Do you know in the first episode, Steve Jobs.
Yep.
His reason for starting Apple and making Apple into Apple was after an LSD journey.
That's like the bloke I went for a run with this morning. Runs a massive company in the mental health space, and he's like, for 15 years he's had PTSD post military.
Yeah,
and he obviously with professionals and all this stuff overseas, but he said changed his life. Like he's literally the best he's been ever, and he's like, I don't have PTSD anymore.
It will kill it. It will kill depression, anxiety, all your worries. Again, not to do it just free-nilly, under guided, facilitated, trusted, safe environment.
Yes.
Where the person facilitating you through that journey is very connected to you. You trust that person. It's very safe. Wow. It will change your life. Yeah, absolutely. I believe from all that I've seen and observed over the last how long now. Yeah. Very, very cool.
And do you feel obviously there's got to be an element of being open to that as well?
You have to be ready.
Yeah. You can't just sort of go,
no.
I'm willing to try anything, but you're not ready to sort of surrender. And
you have to surrender.
Yeah.
You just can't step into that. Oh, I'll have a go just because it'll be fun. Get a bit of a trip and, woo. No. That's just in your head. Yeah. If your body truly wants to speak to you and let it out, wow. The strength and power that comes from that, I can't describe.
That's what I felt like it was for the breath work, and now I've experienced that. I'm the next phase for me is like like
Richie.
I've
Richie.
I'll hit Richie up for sure because I've spoken. I've had clients go up to the sunny coast and do ayahuasca, Cambo.
Yeah. So Richie's doing in January. He's going to the Amazon jungle.
Oh, really?
His wife Zoe, and they're both in this space.
Yeah.
And Richie does the breath work for all the shamans and everyone there. But they do a lot of ayahuasca journeys. So he takes a group of 20 odd people through the jungle for 3 weeks, and they go on this incredible healing journey all together. And they get shaman ceremonies and all the various ceremonies in the jungle,
Yep.
ayahuasca journeys, and wow, incredible healing. And the people who go are people who've had a very lifelong, difficult time.
Yep. Yep. Well, that's what I've had just from my own experience. The reason why I'm craving something like that is
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always on, and I'm always have something to prove. And even though I've read all the books, I've fucking attended all the workshops, there's still part of me that can't let go, and I'm desperate to be able to I feel like I've got a weight vest on all the time, and that's why for me it's like the breath work was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I need more of it, but I also know that
Wow.
I feel like because I've tried everything
Yeah.
in my own experience, so for me I'm hungry for that.
Your body's ready, bro.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see what that feels like because I feel like I'm missing out on so much emotionally.
Can you imagine Lockie without that vest on?
Fuck yeah.
Can you just even... Oh, I'm scared. No, I'm really excited. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. The same for me is like I can't tell my parents I love them. I've got all these things.
Oh,
It's
brother.
like I want to be able to live my life being able to do all those things. And, people can say, you can try it I've tried everything else. Like, literally, anything that you can think of, I've tried it to work through that. So to be able to...
So your mind is so intelligent. Your headspace is so strong. You search, and you want answers. The funny and irony in all of this is your body will just do it.
Yeah.
So let's say hypothetically you go on this journey
Yep.
one day, and I'll make sure it happens for you.
Linda, if you're listening,
yeah.
not.
Linda, don't worry, it'll be great. So yeah, your body will just give you it all. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
This is the funny thing. It's like we're all here in this noggin, and yet the body will just do it for you.
Yep.
It's just cool.
Oh, you got me all pumped up now.
Cool.
It'll all happen when it's ready to happen, which
Yes.
I'm a massive believer in. So how did you go from developing the nerve lock process to then getting into vocals? Because you obviously, that's how we got introduced through my wife and through George and Shepherd.
Yeah.
And you've worked with I saw Pat Flynn, a big fan of Pat Flynn. For those who don't know who Pat is, he runs Smart Passive Income, and I'm part of his mastermind for online business. Love him. And then when I saw the photos, I was like, no way. And it looked like you guys were on the Gold Coast as well.
Yeah, we were. Yeah. So I met Pat at a podcasting thing that I was invited to come and do my nerve lock stuff. So he was fascinated. He's like, bro, can you help me out with my voice? It's doing these weird things. So I did, and connected that way.
Because you've met Tony Robbins as well.
Yeah. So Tony Robbins is not just voice, it's the whole body.
Yep.
But yeah, so many crazy people.
How did it spread to that level?
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's it. Didn't have to do. Well, as we said earlier, when the treatment works, don't have to really do much after that. It just spreads. It's amazing when things just work.
Yep. Yeah. And so for you, like getting into the voice.
Yeah. So nerve locks exist in the voice. Yep. Oh my gosh. So when singers who are athletes in their own right, but they just use
vocals,
this region, podcasters, same category.
I'm back being an athlete as a podcaster.
You are an athlete, a vocal athlete. You're marathoning. You're marathoning in your voice every day. Not just podcasting, but then you go on
talk,
conversation. Yep. So nerve locks can exist, and the vagus nerve, which controls everything about a human's voice, is extremely emotional. 90-something% emotional, in my opinion. So when you're going through a tough time physically, emotionally, your body's tired, you're fatigued, you're sick, you know, and you push yourself vocally, which is what artists do, you know, and artists are very emotionally driven, creative brains. So the vagus nerve is very sensitive in very, very good singers. So nerve blocks love that space and it just locks down. So singers go, what the hell's wrong with my voice? Why can't I get this range again? I've lost this. I can't recover. My voice is not the same tone. I had polyps, nodules, and I got them cut out, but my voice isn't back. What the hell? Nerve locks. That's it. So I do the nerve lock stuff.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's got nerves and muscles in your throat. So
Is it painful?
the irony again, that's the only place that's not. It's really weird. Everywhere else in the body, people say, wow, you've given me a huge workout here, Jim. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you remember when I did your ankle. And, but yeah, the voice, nothing.
That's pretty nice.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So for any podcasters like myself,
Yeah. It's when your voice doesn't do what it normally does and you're trying all your vocal exercises, which are great. I always recommend doing vocal exercises to anyone who uses their voice as a job. You must. If you're training in the box for your body, you must do the same for your voice.
Yep.
Because otherwise you'll regret it later. So yeah. But, Jim, I'm doing it. But man, nothing is working. Nerve locks.
simple. And I like that it is simple. Nerve locks. It tells you exactly what it is.
Even surgery, even though the surgery is supposed to, and they're getting very good now with laser, awesome.
Yep.
Matthew Broadhurst, legend, you know, in Brisbane. Yeah, beautiful. But still, why then my voice not coming back? What's going on? Nerve locks. That's where I come in, do the thing, and away we go.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Do you have like, I want to talk about your athletic performance treatment in a moment.
Yeah.
But do you prioritize work-life balance, or are you
100%.
someone who just smashes out 20 sessions a day?
Yeah. I only really work 4 days a week.
Yep.
And definitely, it's my number one rule. I want to be working and healing people when I'm in my 90s. That's my mission.
Yep.
Still keep playing tennis when I'm in my 90s. So yeah, I must. You must look after the engine you're in or the machine you're in.
Yep.
Otherwise, you ain't hanging around. Your body won't do what you want it to do later on in life. Your head can, because you can do amazing things with your brain.
Yeah.
But if your body's failing you, good luck. Even the best of the best
Yep.
will tell you that. Even Mr. Tony Robbins will tell you that.
Well, he's been having a few challenges.
He has a lot of, God bless him. Yeah, a lot of challenges. So he has the means to have the best of the best on him every day. But when the body says stop, it will stop you. So yes, work-life balance is a must because emotions are a big player in the body.
Yep.
If your stress hormones are constantly high because you're hating your relationship or you don't get along with your kids or you're always worried about something in business, life, money, etc., it's not much fun later on.
Yeah.
Or it could hit you straight away. Yeah, autonomic diseases of any kind, autoimmune diseases or dysfunctions of any kind. You can name so many diagnoses under that banner. Emotions, stress hormones. Never forget that one. I can't emphasize this enough. And this isn't just me being egotistical about it. This is from thousands and thousands and thousands of cases of observing and asking the right questions. That S word, that stress word, it's good to have stress, as Richie would say.
Yep.
But if you love living in that stress space,
You're cooking.
Yeah.
That's me. That's what I want to get out of.
yeah, your body will eventually say, hey, Lockie, okay, we need to slow you down a bit. Even though your brain is saying, I've got 10 different methods.
Yeah. I've got all the tools.
Yeah, I've got the tools, baby. Come on, let's play. Yeah, no way.
So the athletic performance treatment.
Yeah.
How did you develop this one?
This
What's
one
it
I've
all
been
about?
hiding on for a very long time.
Yeah, but I saw you had James O'Connor.
My brother, James, love him. So athletes. I've always loved working with athletes. The body is so connected to the brain, the nervous system, because it's highly attuned. So nerve locks work crazy cool in athletes and very fast, very fast. So I developed this thing where no matter what sport you play, I can get the nerve locks in specific sport specific regions of you, and you will perform better. Like literally, we're calling it hashtag enhanced performance without drugs. But you will jump higher.
Yep.
You will run faster. You will lift heavier. So we could do a fun thing, Lockie. Let's do it.
Yep.
Your best deadlift, your best whatever, right? Bench press or your best running time.
Yep.
And I'll do the performance treatment. And literally 2 days later, I can guarantee you'll lift heavier. Like,
Epic.
I don't say guarantee like when people pay me, but I kind of do.
Yeah.
Because it is that. Like, unless you're sick, you will beat your PB.
So how does it all work? Like,
Literally the nerve locks again.
yep.
So athletes develop nerve locks simply based on the volume of training.
I think after my rows, my hips are fucked.
Yeah, exactly. So if I did your hips and you go after your best rowing score, I won't say guarantee, but I mean it. You will beat it.
Yep.
Yeah.
One sec.
Siri.
It's very cool. Yeah, you will beat it. Because literally the nerve locks are designed to protect from further harm. So when athletes push their bodies, which you have to get better,
Progressive overload.
yeah, you got it. And it just holds on. Some athletes from injury, like contact sports like rugby, of course,
Yep.
hits, you develop nerve locks because it's trauma. And when I unlock it, wow.
Why do you feel do you feel that there's an increase in injuries in athletes now?
Just the volume of play.
Yep.
Yeah, because of commercialism and, a lot of sponsors now.
Yep.
Money's high. Money's really high. So the pressure, expectations, emotional pressure, expectations, and then the physical. So yes,
Interesting.
it's so big.
So I got next week or the week after Tim Hightower, who's with the Washington. That changed their name from the Redskins to the Commandos in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
He's coming on, but he
Sweet.
he literally blew his knee out just doing a step. Like no one was even anywhere near him, and that was like his golden year.
Oh, no.
I think it's year 4 in the NFL. It's like meant to be a big contract year, and he blew his knee out.
No.
He ended up coming back 4 years later, but talks a lot about like overuse of the injury and the stress and trauma that he was carrying that led to that point. So I wonder if
So classic scenario.
Yep.
Yeah. So someone like James O'Connor, you wait to watch him next year. The performance treatment will give him another 2-3 years of
footy.
because all his pains are gone. All his niggling things.
Yeah.
The pressure that builds up in an athlete's body disappears and resets. So the even cooler thing is when they do muscle injuries. So hamstring strain, my knee blew up or my calf tore.
Yep.
It literally returns them back to full sprinting or function within half the time. So the injury time out is significantly reduced.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Not just from the athlete's perspective, but the business that's around the athlete. Wow.
That's exciting.
It's
That is.
a lot bigger than I originally thought until I launched it this year.
Yeah.
And then, all this stuff's coming in and we're like, oh, okay. Didn't think of that.
Will you are you at the point where you need to start training up people or are you just going to be one busy individual?
The cool thing about this one is I can literally walk into an NFL team.
Yep.
And I do all their players who are the game changers. I could be there for a few days.
Yep.
And then I'm gone. So I don't have to stay
Like
with
a
the team.
phantom.
So I like that little specialist ninja that walks in, does his thing, and I'm gone. And literally it reboots them. The athlete feels amazing. And if they're injured, for example, hey, Jim, what's this guy's name?
Tim,
he just blew his knee. Holy crap. Here's our number one paycheck. We got playoffs in a month. Do it. He's playing the playoffs. Unless, of course, he's got a broken bone, ligaments torn, surgery.
Yep.
But even after surgery, it's interesting. It brings them back faster.
Yeah, well, because you think about what's the stats around it. For example, if you tear your ACL, I can't remember the
12 months,
Yeah,
to be out. So I've been testing this obviously for a long time now.
Yep.
Within 8 to 10 months, they're
out.
back to full function.
And have you also like observed? Because I think there was some stats around like the likelihood that you would re-injure
Re-injure.
your knee or your
Or a hamstring strain.
Yep.
Hamstrings always go. So in the NBA, oh my gosh, how many of those players are walking around and jumping around with hamstring strains and calf strains? So they all disappear. It's crazy. Literally, it all disappears.
Yeah.
And they are full function again. It's like they've got new legs again. And and so the purpose is to stop them even getting that problem in the first place. So preventing the Reds, for example, from re-injuring themselves. And if they do, the unfortunate accident or what have you, it brings them back faster.
Might see another Super Rugby title.
That's the mission. Yeah. So this is the first year of it, and we're obtaining data.
Yep.
So I'm going to go to the Major League Baseball as well. So there's a baseball team in Brisbane called the Brisbane Bandits. I'm hoping to connect with them, and I'm going to make all their pitches pitch faster. And of course, no pain. Of course,
Two of those guys train out of function well.
No way.
Yeah.
How
Do you
cool.
have any contacts with them?
I actually talked to a person this morning. So Adrian Lamb, who is the manager there, or the CEO.
Yeah, sorted.
But love to get to the athletes first. The athletes are the key. So once the athlete feels this, they go, I get what you're doing.
Yeah, I need more of this.
Yeah, and they will pitch faster. So we'll get all that data. It'll be cool. It'll be a cool exercise and experiment. So we'll put it all on video. That's my exchange.
Yep.
I'll do this for you. Your pitchers will pitch faster and they'll feel amazing in their shoulders again. And in return, could I please get some data?
yeah. Can I have it all back?
How fast are they pitching now compared to before? Which they will. My theory is between 3 and 5 kilometers an hour faster.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when we were in Nashville, I went to my first baseball game. It's epic. When you actually watch it, it's so addictive. I was like, it's boring.
No, baseball's fun.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Yeah. So it's a pretty exciting concept right now. And it is in the conceptual stage. I'm just going out and doing all the testing, and I've been doing testing personally for many years, so I know it works. It's just I need the data. So please get me in touch with your athletes.
Yeah.
Anyone who's an athlete listening in, let me know, and let me change your world with this.
Is the best place to find you on your website?
Yeah. Email me or call me, the website. The details of the treatment is now on the website too.
Yeah, I was having a look at it earlier.
Yeah, so very, very cool. And then let's do one together. It'll be fun. We can...
I will do whatever I can to get stronger.
Yeah, so literally, when I get back from holidays, we can tee it up. You come in, I'll give you the treatment. And for what do you want to do? Your deadlift?
I need to anything with the hips. My hips are
okay,
cooked.
so I'll unlock your hips.
Yep.
Let's go.
That'd be awesome.
See. You'll be sprinting faster. You'll be lifting heavier.
Yep. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Will be fun. Yeah.
I want to ask 2 quick questions, but one, I guess, a bit more insightful. But 2 people that have been extremely influential on you and how they've had, or what impact they've had on you.
Tony Robbins.
Yep.
Number 1, relationships. That guy changed my world with my wife.
Yep.
So I'll forever be grateful to Tony. So relationship with my beautiful Perry is my number 1 energy. So he always said to me, no matter what you do, great or small, it's the person that you're with. That connection, you work on that connection more than you do for your job or even your kids. Can you believe it? Even your kids. Perry first, not your kids. That shocked me. He says, you will see. That will give you an energy and love that helps you just do whatever you want to do, great or small. It doesn't matter. You will have a great time. And bloody hell, he was right. Because he told me that on the first day we found out we were pregnant with our first child. It was funny. Honey, I'm pregnant. Wow. Oh, and by the way, you got to go see Tony Robbins now. So, okay. And now I've got to drive to the Gold Coast to see Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And, he gave me a big, hey, Jim, how you doing, man? Oh, good to meet you, brother. Yeah, And I said, how you doing? Oh, Tony, I'm in shock. Oh, because we're pregnant. Oh, really? Oh. And then during the treatment session, he gave me a lot of
advice,
amazing stuff. And
that
of course,
would be the best treatment ever.
it was, as I said, I'll forever be grateful. Like, and since then, of course, working with him for a while and just learning from his relationship stuff.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Because he even has a relationship course, I'm pretty sure. Should probably do that.
Tony has a lot of great things, right? And a lot of people do in the same area. But his relationship stuff,
is exceptional.
very, very good. Yeah, I mean, I've been with many cool people in this space. Phil McKernan's the other one. Phil McKernan.
I've never heard of.
He's great.
Where's he
Irish
based?
guy. Look up Phil McKernan. He is amazing.
I'll check that out after.
On relationships again. Phil McKernan. So he has a great book too. So Phil McKernan and Tony Robbins. And was that the question? So
I was just 1 to 2 people who've
Yep.
Had that impact on you.
Yeah.
The final 2 is one's around like why physical fitness is important to you personally.
Easy. Yeah. Hormones.
Hormones.
It's all about the hormones, brother. As human beings.
Yep.
Yep. Good hormones.
And what about mental fitness? Why is that important to you?
Hormones again. So it's the physical body feeds the mental health. So you get good hormones fueling through your kidneys and your liver and your pituitary gland and hypothalamus, and it creates beautiful strength inside. Because we naturally, as human beings, we're very easily led into negative thinking. It's the natural limbic brain. It's designed to preserve and protect us from further harm, right?
Yep.
So mammalian brain. So the more we do good things for the body, I call it parasympathetic care to your body. The hormones really help you when you want to consciously change your mindset for reasons you have for your own life. So let's say if we have 2 people, one who just does the mindset and does nothing for the body, and we have another one who focuses also on the body, that person will win in every way, whatever winning is. Yeah, because their body's hormones are healthier. It just helps the mind and the conscious mind focus, have motivation, drive, energy, etc.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so I'll put all the links of where people can find you. You've got a YouTube channel. You've got Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. YouTube is not my huge... not my main one. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook, and website and...
Mate, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on.
Awesome.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you for doing The Man That Can.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's so good.
Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lockie Stewart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.